Well, welcome everyone to this second episode of the podcast. Today we have a special guest from England, Rebecca Kappler.
Hi,
Welcome
everyone.
to the podcast. Thank you
Thank
for
you so
being
much for
here.
having me. Yeah,
No,
it's really
thank
exciting to be
you.
here.
I know I'm really excited to have you.
So am I. I'm excited to have a chat.
I know you. Well, let's tell our audience. I know you, but not in person.
Yes.
We met because of F1 Academy, actually.
Yeah, the
We were on the
livery.
same car. Yeah, we were on the livery of Zambord, but we're gonna go into that story later. First, Rebecca, can you tell us a little bit of you, please?
Yeah, of course. So I'm from England. I've lived in England all my life. I was born in a place called Stevenage, which is also where Lewis Hamilton's from. So that's a little
That
bit of
is
a cool fun
so great.
fact.
That is so great. Like,
Um, and I now study at Coventry University. I'm studying mechanical engineering, with the hopes of becoming a motorsport engineer one day.
why that engineering? Why?
So my granddad used to race cars when he was younger, and he instilled that love in my dad. My dad loves cars. We have lots and lots of cars in the family, and I've always wanted to work on cars. I've grown up at car shows and air shows and races, so it's really difficult not to love it.
Oh, that is so great. Are you loving your career?
I absolutely love it. Every day when I'm learning new things or getting a new experience or working for a different company, it's just like so fun and so rewarding.
What year are you on?
So I'm in my second year of study. I'm doing an integrated master's degree, which is 4 years in total. So I'm nearly halfway through.
Okay, that is so exciting. Like
Yeah,
I get to see the process. Hopefully, I get to see the future, the result.
yeah,
That's so great.
yeah, I hope so.
Okay, Rebecca, so in these 2 years, what have you experienced of the motorsport world?
So I try and immerse myself in motorsport as much as I can. So a few of like the top highlights for me is I'm part of the race team at Coventry Uni, and last June we went to Poland to compete, and it was phenomenal. There were loads and loads of teams there from loads of different countries. There were teams from all over Europe and Africa, meeting so many new people and learning how a race competition works, where the paddocks are, what the protocol is, things like that. And we as a team hope to attend next year as well. We're working on the car currently, so hopefully that all goes good.
That is so great. Like, what is your job doing, like, in that team? What is your job?
So I have two jobs in the team. I am the social media and sponsorship team leader, which means all the content that you see across social media I make. I also am in charge of getting sponsorship for the team, to get in big companies that can support us to get on board. I'm also, because I'm doing mechanical engineering, a mechanical team member. So last year I did jobs on the car, such as I helped with putting the bodywork together. I installed the seat belt. I made sure that the bodywork could attach to the chassis through some little clips I designed. So yeah, lots of jobs.
Wow, girl, how do you manage your time?
I have to be very organised. I'm quite busy, but I do love it. It's amazing.
It is amazing. I mean, it sounds amazing. How many are you in that team?
So we're quite a small team. We're a team of about 30. That includes electrical and mechanical. So because it's an electric car, we have a whole separate team that deals with the electrical side of things. But generally, about 15 of us go to Poland to run the car, compete, and make sure that's all okay.
That is so wonderful. I wish you came to America, to Mexico to compete.
I would absolutely love to come. America, actually, the US and North and South America, I think they're combined, have their own competition that they do over there because they split all the continents up. So it's the Shell Eco Marathon race, but they have North and South America one. So there are um, schools and universities over in the Americas competing.
So it's not like an impossible thing that you could come,
Absolutely. I
hopefully.
could be over there at some point. I mean, I'd love to travel over there anyway. I've the only place I've ever been to in either of the Americas is to Florida. And I'd love to travel more. I'd love to do Canada, Mexico, love to do Cuba, everything.
Yeah, I think you will. You will get there.
Yeah.
Hopefully, in the future, you will be working with an F1 team because that's your goal, right?
Yeah,
You told me.
absolutely. Yeah,
And maybe we can see you here in the Mexico Grand Prix.
I'd love to do that. I'd love to be in the paddock at the Mexico Grand Prix, working on a car.
That will be amazing.
That would be
Um,
amazing.
Talking about F1,
hmm
um, what's your favorite team? Can I know?
So I I Lewis Hamilton I have a soft spot for because I come from the same place as him.
Yes, of
Generally,
course.
yeah, generally in terms of teams, I don't really have a preference. I just like an exciting race. Like I was at the not the Mexico Grand Prix, the British Grand Prix
Right.
last year, and Nico Hulkenberg got a podium. The crowd went
That
wild.
was
Everyone
so
loved it.
crazy.
It
I
was
know.
brilliant. I remember me and my dad and my boyfriend were sat in the stands, and a guy in a Nico Hulkenberg steak hat walked in and he sat just in front of us. And I bet when he walked in at the beginning of the day, he didn't expect that, but he was amazed by the end of it.
Must been his favorite day ever. Do you like Nico Hulkenberg?
Yeah, I do like Nico Hulkenberg. I think he's a good driver.
That is so wonderful. So you don't have like a favorite team, you just like the whole F1
I
world.
like the whole I like the whole grid. I like an interesting race. I like when lots of different people get podiums and win. I like when there's good battles. I don't mind who it's between.
And you being an engineer, um, when you watch the races, are you like doing this analysis or something like that, or you just enjoy the race?
So I try to enjoy the race as much as I can, but when I'm watching things like in the UK, it's all given to us on Sky Sports. When I'm watching things like Ted's Notebook, and he's really looking into the engineering and how the team works and the upgrades that each team will bring into the race, I can't help but think of the engineering and think, oh, maybe what would I do in that situation? Or, oh, that's a really good idea. I wonder how that will work. Like the new developments that are coming in 2026. I'm just so
Yeah,
excited to
I was
see
about to
how
ask you
they
about that.
work. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
because from
What's
an
your opinion on
engineering,
that?
I mean, from an engineering point of view, I think it's a really, really cool thing. And I kind of like that it changes up every few years because it doesn't get monotonous. You're not designing the same thing every year, you're not releasing the same car every year. From a race point of view, I guess we'll see.
Yeah, like nobody knows, like
Yeah, yeah, I think it will help with the cars being smaller. I think that will help at some street circuits, Baku, Monaco, with racing a bit closer.
I haven't talked about that with an engineer, with an actual engineer. That
Yeah,
is so great. And even better if with a girl engineer.
yeah. It is very still very male dominated, but there are lots and lots of girls in engineering now and getting excited about engineering, which is good.
Yeah, it's so awesome to see how the community of girls in motorsport is growing. Like,
Absolutely, it's so lovely. Girls on Track had their 10-year anniversary the other day. I saw that, and that was just there's so many schemes now to get girls into motorsport, and when they're seeing people on TV, Bernie Collins, Naomi, Susie Wolf, really great exposure.
And also F1 Academy, like, let's
Yep.
go to that. Like, how do you feel when you saw your face literally on delivery?
I mean, it was really surreal. So I was literally just scrolling through the internet and I managed to go on F1 Academy's website and I saw this thing posted and I was like, oh, I'll apply for it. But I'm just a student. I'm not even an engineer yet. We'll see how it goes. And then I remember getting the email and I hadn't told anyone about it because I was like, I'm not going to get it. And then I
Yeah.
remember seeing the email saying, your face is going to be on it. And I was like, oh my goodness. I really couldn't believe it. And then it just started becoming more and more real. And then they released the livery and it was like trying to spot your picture.
Yeah.
It was so cool. And obviously it got you in contact with people. That's how we met. And yeah, really, really good.
It felt, for me, it felt like a dream came true. Like, wow,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
was so surreal, as you
It
said.
was it was definitely a highlight of last year. I mean, yeah,
How many people can say that their faces were on an F1 car? I mean, it was F1
yeah,
Academy, but it was in that world. Like, how many people?
absolutely. Yeah, I mean, it was racing along F1 alongside F1 cars and F2 cars, and I mean, you can't beat that. I think F1 Academy is brilliant as it is, and I love that they are support races for F1 because I mean, everyone flocks to F1 and the races sell out. But the opportunity to see all the support races like F1 Academy, F2, Porsche, and everything like that just gives the drivers a chance to race and it gives the crowd a chance to see them race.
I know, right? I wish we had F1 Academy races here in Mexico, but
Mm,
hopefully in the future.
hopefully in the future. But I quite like F1 Academy because they change where they're racing every year.
Mm-hmm.
So this year they are actually racing at Silverstone, whereas the year before they didn't, and it all changes round. So it's quite nice. It's like it gives the drivers opportunities to race at different tracks, and it gives different crowds opportunities to see them.
Yeah, so there's a chance. There's a chance for us.
Absolutely, I hope so.
Rebecca, what's the best thing? I know you love your career, of course, but if you could choose just one thing today, maybe it changes tomorrow, but today, what's the best thing about your career, like studying that?
I think the best thing about my career is the diverse things that you can go into. Um, so someone was actually talking to me about this the other day. Motorsport and the motor industry in general is so diverse, and there's so many jobs that no matter what you study or what you're into, there is a job for you. And I just think I like the idea of being able to study mechanical engineering and then get a job in anything I'm interested in. You know, something like you can be working on the car, but you can also be working in the marketing side of things or the sponsorship side of things and communicating with people, or you can be working in hospitality, or you can be working in tours. You know, there is so much to do. You can be working on driver performance, which is another thing that is just fascinating. I really like how diverse it is and how many people you get to meet. That's probably the best thing about it.
Do you have a specific area where you would like to go once you finish your career?
So I think I'd like to work in something aerodynamics. I did I helped do the bodywork of the race car last year, and watching that be put on CAD, and we did some simulations over it of airflow. It was just really, really cool to see. And the best thing about it was such little developments made such a big difference. And I feel like that's really interesting when you think about a thing of motorsport where it is literally millimeters. Such tiny
Yeah,
measurements make a huge difference.
I know. Like, it amazes me, like the difference. Well, now I'm talking about the time. It it amazes me the differences in between the positions in the F1? Like, the first and the second one is
Yes.
like, what?
Yeah. It's
So
absolutely
fast.
crazy. Yeah, I mean, F1 cars are incredibly fast, but I think it's really fascinating that taking a millimeter off the edge of a wing can make you point one of a second faster, and suddenly
Yeah,
you're on pole.
it's like magic. It's
It
something
is
magic.
magic.
I want to know what other things you do apart of that area.
Yeah, so I've actually had to recently give it up, but for so many years I danced, and that is one of my biggest passions. I still go back to my old dance school at home and do a few lessons every now and then, and it's absolutely lovely. I've been doing it since I was so little, and it was always just a good escape for me. Used to do shows, used to love it. Um, but yeah, other than that, I like to read. I read a lot. I read fiction, non-fiction, whatever. I've just read Bernie Collins' book. I'm currently reading Adrian Newey's book. So I
Oh
read a lot
yeah,
about
I'm
F1.
reading that too. Yeah,
Oh,
that's great.
yay. Yeah, I think it's brilliant. It's really cool to see what their life is like,
Uh-huh.
especially because that's sort of what I want to do.
Yeah, of course, it's totally for you.
But yeah, it's
Um,
brilliant. I was also part of Girl Guiding UK for over a decade, so I was part of it as a member. So I grew up going to camps, and then when I was 16, I got my young leaders qualification, so I was able to take little girls on camps and do summer holidays, and that was really lovely because interacting with young girls a in an organization where it was like you can do anything, dream big, go for it, was really beneficial.
oh, yes, like believe in yourself, girls. You can do
Absolutely.
whatever you have in mind.
You can do, if you have a
Oh,
dream,
that's
absolutely
lovely.
go for it. Yeah.
That is so great. And I mean, you are doing it by yourself, like for yourself. You are doing it.
Yeah, I've had this dream since I was little, probably end of primary school, ages 10 or 11. Um, and it's always what I've wanted to do, and it's what I've been working towards, and I'm doing it because I love it.
Let me ask, have you faced any sort of obstacle in your career only for being a woman?
Um, There's nothing massive that springs to mind. Obviously, it is still a changing world. We are getting more and more progressive, but there are obviously still issues, especially in a male dominated industry. You get people that are still in the mindset of we as women or people of colour shouldn't be in that environment. But we should, and diversity is such a great thing because you will sit in a group of engineers and different people will come up with different ideas because of their experiences. And I think that's the way we progress as the world in engineering. Um, so, although I've never had anything specific, I don't think anything massive because I'm a woman. There are certainly instances where I've thought, um, oh, that might have been slightly easier if I was a man. But I think if I can be even a role model for one little girl who wants to achieve a dream, I hope that's good. Or if I can make it slightly easier for the generation coming behind me, that's okay with me.
That is wonderful. I love that. I really love that,
Yeah.
Becca. That's so great. Okay, now I need to ask you the hard questions.
Oh no.
The hard questions about F1, and even
Hmm.
harder because the season hasn't started like, like the
Yes.
races are not. So, first hard question for you.
Hmm.
Um, which team, not driver, team do you think is going to do the first DNF of the season?
First DNF. I potentially think Cadillac, and the reason for that being is because they're a new team. They're coming up through the ranks, and I hope they prove themselves throughout the season and prove that they deserve
Yeah.
to be there. But I feel like a new team on the grid might be the first DNF.
Yeah, because they're new, right? But
Yeah,
they are definitely improving. I know
absolutely.
that.
Yeah. No, they've got a good team. So yeah, they've got a decent car. So I'm excited to see how they perform.
All right. That was the first hard question.
Yes.
The second one, what team do you think is going to be champion this year? Do you think it's going to be again McLaren?
I potentially think it would be safe for me to say McLaren again. I think we will have the top four teams again in Mercedes, McLaren, Red Bull, and Ferrari. I do think Mercedes, if they play their cards right, are in with a fighting chance, as are Red Bull. You know, Max Verstappen's a great driver. We've got Isaac Hadjar coming into the seat, and I'm excited to see how he performs. But I do think McLaren have it.
Okay. And what about the driver? That's the third hard question.
I see it's so 50-50 between Oscar and Lando. And I think they work so well as a team that, like it did this year, it just comes down to the final race, because they are so evenly matched. So I think it will be down to who's more consistent, who's getting pole positions and performing well on a Saturday and a Sunday that counts. But in terms of which one it could be, it might be Lando. I think it possibly could be Lando, but I'd like to see Oscar up there someday.
Another hard question for you.
Mm-hmm.
What about Lewis Hamilton? Like he's actually one of my favorite drivers. I
Yeah,
was hoping he would improve when he got to Ferrari.
yeah.
But yeah, we saw last year. So what do you think is going to be 2026 for him?
I mean, obviously, undisputably, he is one of the best drivers of all time.
Yeah.
No one can argue with that. The stats, I mean, they speak for themselves. I think the move to Ferrari was interesting. But I think at the same time, when you're a driver with that sort of experience and you have been at a team so long, moving on isn't always a bad thing. Fighting in the middle of the pack isn't always a bad thing. We think of Michael Schumacher and Kimi Raikkonen. You know, they win championship. Fernando Alonso, they win championships for a few years and then they take a little step back. And I understand Lewis still wants to be competitive. And obviously he's doing all he can to do that. But I think the experience of driving for another team is sometimes a really good thing. Change can be good. You know, he's driven for three of the top teams. He's driven McLaren, Mercedes, Ferrari. There's not much more you can ask for. Obviously, you're going to have your ups and downs. And we'll see how this season goes. I hope it gets better for them, and I hope Ferrari can start fighting at the front.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I know, it's hard to say.
Yes.
Hopefully he will get better. Like I know
Yeah.
he's one of the best, but with the whole team and they
Yeah.
will get better.
Yeah, absolutely. I hope the team work together well this season and start fixing it, because Ferrari are a historic team, but I feel like there's a couple of little issues here and there, and I feel like once they get fixed, Ferrari will be on it.
Yeah, definitely. They need to.
Yes.
If you had the opportunity to speak to those girls that want to join the motorsport world, what will be your message to them?
I'd say just absolutely go for it. Don't let anyone tell you it's a boys' sport. Don't let anyone tell you you don't belong here. Just block it out. Don't listen to them, because people will tell you that, and you just have to ignore it and keep going. If you love it and you love it that much, there is nothing stopping you from succeeding. Just, you got to get your foot in the door. Got to talk to people, and you've got to work hard, and that's all there is. And you just got to go for it, and you've got to love it.
Yeah, that is a great message. Like, I mean, look at me, I'm doing it, right? Like,
Absolutely.
you telling that.
Yeah, I mean, we're both here. You work in content creation in motorsport. I'm studying engineering. We are living proof that young girls, if you want to do something, you just can.
Yeah,
Which is
hopefully it gets to the right people.
absolutely, yeah, I really hope so. I really, because I always try and encourage women to go into something they want to go into, even if it's male dominated, because so many things are, and you just have to go for it. You just have to be strong, be brave, and walk into the room filled with lots and lots of men, and just stand your ground, and make sure you're listened to.
That is a successful attitude. That is
Absolutely.
one.
Yeah.
I know for sure you're gonna achieve all of the things you want to in your career.
Absolutely, and I think the same about you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Becca. So it's been really good to have you here. Hopefully
Yeah, it's
it
been really
won't be
lovely.
the last. Hopefully we can chat a little bit later on the
Absolutely.
season, to talk
Yeah.
about the teams. But yeah,
Yes, talk about how the season's going. I'm really excited for it to start up. I've missed F1, so
I know. It's gonna be really interesting because now we have 11 teams. Like, what?
absolutely. Yeah, really interesting to see 22 drivers on the grid.
And all the regulations, like, we'll see. We'll see if they made a
Yeah,
mistake or they made the F1 better.
exactly. We'll have to have a chat about that soon.
Okay, Becca. Well, thank you. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks so much for
And
having me.
gracias a todos por ver el segundo episodio. Sígueme para más contenido.
The Automovilismo.